Trying to get to Moscow, we had to pull off at the Zimmer Plant and park. We grabbed our gear and headed out on foot. Emergency vehicles were everywhere. We could see at least one of the buildings at Zimmer had been seriously hit. Telephone poles and lines were a total loss. Then walking down the road toward us, an image burned into my brain. Bill Lloyd, his 2 dogs, and his 5-month-old son, Mason.
Tell me about it.
It was quick. Didn't see it coming at all. Just worried about protecting him, is it. And then just worrying about getting out of here. That's it. Just trying to go see my wife.
What's the rest of the town like?
There's not much left of it.
Working our way into town, everywhere we looked, shell-shocked people, neighbors checking on neighbors, friends and family. In the fading light, one thing was clear. The closer we got to the river, the worse the damage got. Downed trees and power lines were everywhere, blocking the streets and our passage. Blown-up houses lined the streets. You hear it all the time, but the village really did look like a war zone, and it was. The community on one side, Mother Nature on the other. About 2 blocks away from the river, we found rescue crews hard at work trying to get into the house where Carol Forste lived. They knew she was there. They didn't know for quite a while whether she was alive or not, so they kept digging and hoping, until they knew for sure that the popular council member would be the village's only fatality. While I was at Carol's house waiting for answers, my phone rang. On the other end was Councilman Ken Jones. He and his wife had gone out for an anniversary dinner, leaving just 15 minutes before the storm hit. Ken wanted to know if his house was still standing. I walked down, looked at it, and told him it was. Today, we were there again.
The biggest surprise is that we've seen tornadoes on television before. We've seen the aftermath before. There is no way that a video camera can adequately show the damage and the destruction. And you see the town that you're used to every day, and all of a sudden a great deal of it's not there anymore. But I do want to say this, that there are a lot of people who approached me and said, what's going to happen to Moscow? Nothing. It'll rebuild.
While on the phone with Ken Jones Friday night, I met his neighbors, Ken and Sharon Chambers.
Kept hearing all this glass breaking, and then you'd see the tree going by the windows, and it was just unreal.
Sounds like Wizard of Oz.
Yes, yes. But I don't want to be Dorothy.
The Chambers are now living in their basement and rebuilding.
Now you see the possibilities. You see all the hardship and destruction around you, but you've got to keep going. It's a shame you have to see a disaster for the community to come together and things. But, we're all here to help each other.